Yo, what's up you guys? This week we're talking about getting into film photography and a piece of gear that a lot of people don't invest in, and I think you might want to. So if this interests you, if you want to see what it is, stick around, and I'll tell you exactly what this guy does. This is actually the Sekonic L308 Flashmate, made by Sekonic obviously, and what this does is actually meters for light to help you with exposure readings, with film photography especially. Now you could use this along with your digital camera, but typically digital cameras already have them built in, and even some film cameras have them built in. But especially for my film cameras where I have a fully mechanical camera that doesn't have a light meter, I need something to actually meter for the light to get the proper exposure. Now for a close-up shot, you get the actual bubble, which you can expose your lens by rotating to the left or the right. So there's that. It actually gives you your meter, which just turned off. So there's actually your readings, and you also get these proprietary buttons. So this is actually your fire button, and then your up and down select button. And that's basically all of the physical buttons other than your ISO button here. Essentially, you're going to do like what you would do with your digital camera, where you press the shutter halfway and it gives you these readings. So you set two of the inputs and it gives you the third output, talking about shutter speed, aperture, and ISO. This device does the exact same thing. So now you know what it is, you know kind of what it does, but what are the main reasons why you would get something like this? So there's really one big reason why you would get a light meter, whether that's an iPhone app or an Android app, or get something standalone like my Sekonic meter. Essentially, you're just trying to get a proper meter reading so you get a proper photo. But realistically, there's two ways to go about doing this. The first setting would be to do it as a reflective metering system. So what you would do is essentially have your light source coming down to your subject, and then it reflects back to your camera. So you would then hold this out directly, like I would do like this, to actually the wall if I wanted a meter for the wall, right? Because what I'm then doing is metering my light source bouncing off of my wall and back to this, and that's the direction of my camera. So essentially a reflective is just that. I'm trying to catch the reflection of the light off of whatever the subject is. Now the reason why you would use reflective for those types of scenes is because you can't really get up close to your subject. Especially in the case of like landscapes, you're trying to get an entire view or an entire landscape or architecture, whatever, streetscape in your photo, so you're not able to get like all of the different points. So you're just trying to get a relative reading on all of the area in which you're trying to shoot. However, on the other side, portrait photographers tend to use something called incidence metering. So unlike reflective, incidence is catching direct light. So in the case of the reflection, I said we would turn this around and it would face the back of the camera, or the back of the device would face the camera. We would fire it that way to catch a reflection, right? Incidence is the exact opposite. So it's now going to face the camera directly. If you're the photographer and I'm the subject and you want to catch a portrait of me, you might put this to the lit side of my face because that's where the light is, right? So you might fire it right here, and then you're going to get your reading based off of this side of my face. So what is the incidence doing that the reflection is not? Well, reflection is really good for those landscape portraits, like I said, when you're trying to get an entire area as a single exposure. Incidence, on the other hand, is getting a single kind of area, and you're getting light that is not ending up, you're not getting that reflection, like I said. So a lot of the times when we do portraits, we stand people typically in areas that are, like, if you think of it this way, if I'm a person standing behind or in front of a building, then in that case, you're going to end up getting a lot of that reflection off of the glass or off of the light or off the building. Or in my case, in this shot, I actually had a truck where I actually was trying to shoot just for the truck, but it's sitting in front of a white wall. So if I did the reflective metering, I would meter for the entire subject and probably overexpose my truck by a lot, or underexpose my truck by a lot, just to meter for the wall, basically, if I was going to do it completely. So instead what I did was incidence, and I actually walked over to it, pointed this directly to the camera, and then that way it gets me what I'm actually looking for as far as the actual truck itself. That's my focus. So now you can see kind of the difference between incidence and reflective. But do I think necessarily you should go out and buy like a Sekonic light meter or any other kind of standalone light meter if you're going to start into film photography? Well, not necessarily, because unless you're like 2 cameras deep and you're moving away from the automatic stuff directly into mechanical, if you're not like wholeheartedly into film photography, these items can be expensive. So a better thing to think about, you still should use a light meter, but I think a better way to do this is to, for at least the beginners, think about some of these iPhone and Android apps that actually allow you to meter. The pros with those is the fact that it's already a device that you're going to carry anyway. And I've used a lot of these apps throughout the years, and I really like like them, and if you pay for them, they only get a little bit better. Now, yeah, you're going to lose some features and they might not be as accurate all the time, but generally speaking, this is a great way, and you can get 90% of probably your exposures properly exposed just by using a free app. I think they're incredible, and I think if, like I said, you're not 2 cameras deep, not moving away from automatic yet, I think this is a great place to start. However, if you're already fully into film photography, if you have a couple of mechanical cameras or cameras that don't have light meters in them, and you're trying to consider whether you should or shouldn't like upgrade from those iPhone and Android apps, I think you absolutely should. Because even though they do come with the cons, like they are pricey, and the fact that you have to carry batteries now because this is just another standalone device that's going to need to be charged or have a AA like mine, I think those are cons. But just the way you get to measure the light and get a proper reading is incredible. I think they're super awesome. I think they're just very, very useful tools, and they're very versatile in what you can do with them as far as that difference between reflective and incidence, and you don't have to worry as much about missing the light, which inevitably is the big point. You just want to get a good photo. So now's the time, if you haven't already, I hope you will go down in the comment section below and let me know what you think. I actually posted this question on Twitter, whether you thought that the iPhone apps versus the standalone devices, which one was kind of better, and these are the results that I got. And beyond all that, I hope you will also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. All of the social links are down below, as per usual, as you already know, because you've seen all of my other videos, so it's always the same thing. Everything is down below for you to check out. And one last thing, if you're looking to buy a meter like mine, I actually have the Amazon link below. It is not an affiliate link. It is just a link so you can see exactly what I have. I like those videos that actually put in those links to directly to whatever they're talking about. So in this case, there's no money to be made here. It is purely informational. I'm giving you that link so that way you see what I use. And beyond all of that, I'm going to hit you with my typical... I'm going to peace out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Get out, take some photos. Let me see them. Make sure you @ me on Twitter or send me a stitch on TikTok, whatever you want to do. Let me see everything you're doing. I would love to see all of it. Peace out, guys. See you in the next one. Whoosh.